Hello, I am currently playing this game that I had made with the help of Unity's tutorials, and it's me going around and collecting these little spinning pellets, like sort of a 3D Pac-Man. And if you look up in the left-hand corner, you'll see that the count goes up with every pellet. And now the last pellet says you win. So, I have currently made 2 levels. You saw the first one just a second ago. This is the second one. I've used more tips. I have used more walls to make it semi-harder, and I have colored both the outer wall and the inner walls to give more contrast between the ball and the ground and the walls, and even the pellets. So now it's easier to read the "You win" sign. When they were uncolored, you wouldn't be able to see it on a white surface. So here we will be looking at the 3 programs that are used to make this entire game work. First off, we have the basic coding, using the Unity engine, which is saying that it will be using the Unity engine itself. Second, we will be using the Unity engine.ui, which will essentially make it so that it will use the text. And then we have down here a public float speed. The public means that it can be used throughout the entire project, and the speed will be used later on. The public float speed and then the public text, count text, and win text are all variables that will be used. The private is one private variable. Private rigid body are variables that we will be using and we will be defining, and will also be used later on. So we have private rigid body RB and private int for integer count. So then we go on to control our player. For voids, so we do start, RB is equal to the get component rigid body. And then we set the count to 0, set count text, which will be defined later, and win text is blank. And then fixed update will run every tick, and that will be determining how we will be moving and what inputs we are giving it. So for this we have set horizontal and vertical, and vector 3 is how we will be moving. So we want to be moving horizontal and vertical and not up. So we set the move horizontal and move vertical as we have defined earlier, and we have set the up and down to nothing. Then we will be adding a force, which will be the movement, which we have defined in the line above, times speed, which is in the first public float. On trigger, collide, other. This is saying that when we collide with an object, it will trigger whatever is below it. And we set if other game object compare tag pickup. This is a tag that we have set to all of our pickup items. Those little yellow spinny things. If it is true, then we'll set it to active false, which is turning it off from the scene that we see. And then it will update the count to +1, and then set count text, which is further down. Then we are defining what set count text is, and that is equal to count, colon, and then whatever the count is, plus string to count. And then if we say if the count is greater than or equal to 12, then we will change the win text to you win. Next we will be going over the camera controller. This is just going to be saying how we use or how the camera moves. So we want to identify the game object as the player and the vector 3 offset. and we are setting these to basically say that we want to keep the camera the distance that it is in the editor away. We want to use that distance to keep it that far away from the ball at all times without moving with the ball. And now we use the rotator, which makes the little pellets rotate, as you saw. And all we are doing for that is just giving it a transform rotate command to update its vector 15x, 30y, 45z times the time. That will be doing every tick.